9:30 on a Friday morning, and this is what I'm doing with my time, making this video. So, you should probably, watch the rest of the video and not just cut it off right here because, I spent a lot of time making this for specifically you. So, don't be a dick. Okay, look, these questions can be answered. Like, totally, they can be. But, I just haven't yet, so I'm labeling them under unanswerable. Like, you could just Google it and it's fine. But, like, I don't want to or haven't yet, so, now I'm just telling you. Who invented the concept of language? Like, how did that even occur to somebody to do? Because when language was invented, the first language was Sanskrit, and I think the next one was Latin. But how did it even occur to people to, like, say, they couldn't even say it to each other. They couldn't even be like, I'm gonna make noise out of my face hole, and you're gonna be like, oh, okay, that means go over there to the bush. Like, they couldn't do that. They couldn't communicate because they didn't talk. How did they communicate in the first place to say, this means this? Did they just knock on, like, rock? Like, did they do that? And how did they get, like, pronouns and adverbs and stuff? Like, how did they get this far deep into, like, the whole deal? And you know what? Like, they probably had to, like, be settled down and not be nomads anymore before they, like, concentrated on language. And the key to settling down in one of those societies is farming. And so how did they even, like, tell each other, this is what we're going to do now, we're going to farm? Like, they couldn't have all had, like, the brilliant idea at the same time to plant seeds. It doesn't make any sense. Why don't they have any Chick-fil-A in New York? I live in Virginia. I don't live in New York. But, like, why don't they have any? It could make so much money. How does Bing make money? I mean, I get they get money through advertising, but how do they make nearly enough money? Because, like, everybody I know uses Google. You know why? Because they're functional American people. Like, who uses Bing? Who's the demographic for Bing? Like, Google, like, if you look at the demographics, it's like this. It's going up and up and up. Yahoo is like, all right, we're doing pretty good. Bing is, like, flat on the bottom, across the board. Nobody uses Bing. How does it make enough money to pay its employees or its programmers or whatever employees you have when you run an internet search website? I have no idea what they're called. But how do you employ all those people? And how do you get funding for advertisements on TV? Like, where is all this money coming from? Did you just get, like, a really big loan from an uncle or something? I have no idea how Bing still works. Why is Scientology not disbanded? Why haven't they, like, condemned that from being a thing in America anymore? Most countries don't consider it a religion. Like, we're one of the only ones that considers it an actual religion. Most countries consider it either a non-profit business, a corrupted business, or a cult. Not even a joke. Most countries consider it a cult. I mean, they're stealing from innocent people. Like, a person, like a depressed man, goes into the Scientology clinic or whatever, and he says, like, I'm not feeling so hot. And they're like, all right, put your hand to this test, tibbity boppity boop. Oh, man, you're special. And he's like, I'm special. And that's fine. Like, faking people into thinking they're special is cool, because then they'll think that way till they die, and then, like, they never find out that they're not. But, like, the problem is, they put people in salt lockers. They torture people. They made Tom Cruise go crazy. This isn't like a safe, fun family organization. This is like a death cult. Who thought of cigarettes? Who was the first guy that was like cigarettes? Like, that doesn't make any sense, by the way. I've said that about a lot of stuff, like, doesn't make any sense. This makes no sense. Because how tobacco is made is you take a tobacco plant and you dry out the leaves. And then you break them up into little bits, and then you, like, sprinkle them into the, the paper. You roll it up, you light it on fire on one end, suck on one side, boom, you got a cigarette. But who thought, like, that's the option when they saw that plant? Like, let's eat it. We can't eat it because it tastes like bad and it's pretty bad for you. Okay, what else are we gonna do with it? I don't know, just stop growing it? No, here's what we can do. We can dry out the leaves. Gary, what are you talking about? Listen to me. We can dry out the leaves. We can break them up, put them in a little rectangular pieces of paper, roll them up, light one end on fire, suck on one side, boom, you got a cigarette. Gary, what's a cigarette? Exactly what I just made, dude. And now, like, Gary's a billionaire. How did Gary have that thought process? Did Jesus just come down and be like, Gary, cigarettes? And why would Jesus want to help us make cigarettes? Does Jesus want us to get lung cancer? It doesn't make any sense. Was the first interception in football impromptu? Or did they, like, plan that? I know, like, nothing in football's planned unless, football's fixed, which is a whole different thing. But, like, Was that a rule? Could you intercept a football the first time a guy did it? Like when they first played the first game of football and the quarterback threw it, a dude on the defense was like, "I got this," and he brought it down. Like, was he able to run back, or was everybody just confused? Like, dude, I don't know what Phil's doing. Like, he just caught the ball. He's on defense. Like, were they just all like super like, okay, I guess you're gonna run it back, dude, and that's how that became a rule? Or was football derived from like a primitive sport where you're trying to get like one round object on one side of the field and another team's trying to get it on the other side of the field, and it's kind of like Calvin ball, and you're just like pushing against each other with all your might. And in that sport, that primitive sport, whoever has the ball has the ball, and that's kind of how it evolved into football. So it's just whoever has the ball, and that's just kind of carried over when they eventually made football. How are digital photographs taken? Just seeing a thing and being like, click, now it's mine? Like, that's craziness. Cameras are crazy in general, but digital cameras are like off the charts. Like original cameras that had like actual like film in them, I kind of get how that is. It's like this camera sees it and it's like essentially like there's like trolls in there and they kind of draw on the film and it's like and then like a film rolls out and then you're like, okay, I just drew the thing that I saw, and then that's what happened. But digital cameras, what is going on in a digital camera that makes it work? Like, who figured that out? Like, they put a little chip in there and some mirrors and then, like a little computer, and then all of a sudden, boom, you got yourself a camera. What guy was like, camera, but also digital? But, anyway, click the big red button to subscribe. Like, please do that. I mean, come on, dude. Like, I made this video for you. Like, specifically you. You. Yeah, no, you. I made it for you. Come on, man. So press subscribe. It would just be like real cool of you, or else you're kind of a jerk. And like the video, all that stuff. Refresh this page like 30 more times, so it gives me 30 views, so it makes me look good. And that's kind of all I need.